In the last video, I promised you a pro tip, and here it is. I'll try to keep it fast. Combustions aren't so good for this pro tip, but a lot of times, like double replacements, oh boy, they can get big and complicated. Okay, like let's say, let me think here. Let's say I have lithium oxide, and I'm going to mix that together with magnesium nitrate. Okay, and the two cations are going to switch places because that's what happens in a double replacement, and so we're going to end up with magnesium oxide plus lithium nitrate. And boy, there's a lot here to balance, isn't there? Right? Here is the secret trick. You don't have to do each element on its own. You can look at entire ions as single chunks, especially in replacement reactions. So you see, like this magnesium nitrate, there's two ions. There's a positive magnesium and there's a negative nitrate, and that nitrate stays together even over to the products. Okay, so you don't need to consider nitrogen and oxygen separately. You can just look at nitrate as a whole. Okay, so when I make my list, I'm going to look for lithium, that's a cation. I'm going to look for oxygen because that's the anion of that. That oxygen is still going to be a thing. And I'll look for magnesium, but instead of looking at nitrogen and oxygen separately over there, I can just look at nitrate as a whole. So counting ions can save you some time, and sometimes it can save you a lot of time. So let's start doing that. Notice too that when I count ions, it gets rid of the problem of split elements. I don't have to think about oxygen separately. Look at oxygen shows up here, 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 here. That could be really problematic. Oxygen could be tough. But when you consider it as part of a nitrate ion, that just totally eliminates that problem. At any rate, reactants, 2 lithiums, products, 1 lithium. Not enough. Okay, let's put a 2 right there. Now we have 2 lithiums. Okay. Oxygen. Now I'm only counting this oxygen. I'm not counting the oxygen in the nitrate. Just looking right there. I've got 1. And in the products, again, I'm only looking at oxygen when it's alone. I'm not looking at the nitrate right there. And I have 1. Good, those are balanced. Magnesium, 1 in the reactants, 1 in the products. Nitrates. This is where it gets important to think differently. I'm thinking about this whole thing as a single chunk, and there are 2 of those chunks, 2 nitrates. Okay. In the products, again, I'm thinking of this as a whole chunk. There's a coefficient of 2, so that means there's 2 of those chunks. And lo and behold, right, what looked so complicated really isn't. We're done already. It's balanced. All I had to do was add that 1, 2, and gosh, it would have been pretty tough to figure out where to put that with all that oxygen sitting there, right? Wasn't that nice? So pro tip, count ions instead of individual elements. Happy balancing. That's all I got for you. With those tips, you should be able to do just about anything.